Warning. Actually, we're going to skip the warning today because I want to talk to you guys, be honest with you guys. I'm torn. I love doing this. You guys are supporting me to an incredible degree, but I personally cannot keep losing at the volume that I'm losing. Down 8 units, and that stings for me. And I had to really consider this last night and say, okay, what do we do? Do we lessen the units more? Do we go from 0.1 even further down? Do I change my unit size? Do I bet less? Maybe I don't bet these at all. And at least tell people, hey, I'm not betting these. I don't know the answer. And I think that's one of the more frustrating parts. I said at the beginning of this series, I hate giving out picks. I hate doing this. And when I consistently have losing days, I am reminded why. We did hit 3, Volpe, Pajes, and McCutcheon. We hit 3 plays, a 950, a 550, and a 650, and we still lost 2 units. So I really dove in last night, and I looked at the data, and I said, what's going on? So I created this matrix. And again, we will give picks today. It's coming. It's a very small slate. So I know you guys really ate up the other data piece of information video that I did with Ballpark Pal. So here's some more data. And so what this represents is how many plays per day since we started. So the most plays I ever did in any day was on 4/19. We had 78 plays. I deployed 7.6 units. So some of them probably voided is what that comes down to. I then have my wins and losses from the day. Our unit net, you can see we had a really good stretch right in here, 414 to 417. Don't know what was going on here, but it was good. And you can see down here, from 423 down to today, we have had an awful run. Really, from 420 down, we only had one positive day. So, is it variance? If we look up here, we had a positive day 1, 2. We had a positive day 5 out of 6, and then we had a losing day, 5 out of 6. So it's this. Is this just variance? Or is this unsustainable? And that's the tricky part about this. It's gambling, right? You're going to have swings. And we are in the middle of a huge swing downward. And so, I have to look at myself and say, is this sustainable or is this just variance? So again, you can see the amount of risk that I had each day, and then you can see the ROI from each day. And then over here, I have binned them in terms of how many plays there were, because I wanted to kind of see, is there a sweet spot? Are there days where I'm playing maybe 40 where we're consistently positive? Are there days when I'm playing more where we're negative? Am I playing too much? Am I playing too little? What is a sweet spot? So then I grouped them by bins, and I really found absolutely nothing. I found no conclusive data. I have 10 days where I've played between 31 and 40 picks, and the total ROI is 5%. 4 positive days, 6 negative days, but the positive days outweigh the negative days in terms of ROI. Now, when we play 40 to 50, we have 3 losing days, down 45. When we play 60 to 70, we're up. We have only 1 play, though. So it's like, or 1 day, though. So it's like, I don't know necessarily where the sweet spot is right now. You can see if we look at the trend line, it looks like it's slightly worse when we play more. And maybe that sweet spot is mid-30s. So here's the drawing board. And you guys don't get a fancy graphic because I am not worthy of a fancy graphic right now. And these are the things that I considered last night, because I went to bed frustrated. I went to bed upset. I went to bed saying, if I've lost 8 units in a month, I cannot, this is not good for me to do. It's not sustainable. So here are some things I'm thinking. And I really do want your guys' input. I want you guys to benefit from this series. I also have to benefit from it in terms of my mental health and my financial health, but I want you guys to also continue to find value. So some things I'm thinking, and I want your feedback. Do I mix in some normal MLB plays, some money lines, some first five, some totals, as it relates to the home runs? I still ultimately want this to be a home run series. I still want to give out home run picks every day. I still want that to be the center point, the focal point of this adventure. But maybe we can supplement with some normal MLB plays, because as I'm looking through these games for home runs, I'm seeing other things. There are specific teams that I like based on their matchups. And so that information could still be valuable to you. Maybe I limit per game. Maybe I say, look, I need to keep it at 4 players per game. This 7, 8, 9 players per game is ultimately not profitable. I don't know. I could go back and look and see how all of that transpires, but my gut says I'm playing a lot per game and we are on a massive downswing. So maybe I just need to limit myself per game. The other thing is maybe I need to look at the team home run totals. The problem with this idea is that these lines are not released until typically after lineups, which means I cannot ever give an official play on the morning video because FanDuel's not going to release the team total home runs until probably an hour, maybe 2 hours before the game. So what that means is if I really like the Baltimore Orioles bats, I really like them to hit a home run, and it's a game where I would normally have 6 or 7 of their guys, like you know me to do, specifically with the Washington Nationals, specifically with the Baltimore Orioles, maybe even the Cleveland Guardians. Those are teams that I've done this for, and the Yankees, right? I do this a lot, and we're down 8 units. So maybe it's not working. So what I may be able to do is say, let's take the team to hit 1.5 home runs. I'm going to pick 2 guys that I like, that I think are the best, and then we're going to supplement it with over 1.5 home runs. So that way, if we pick Ben Rice and Volpe, but Judge and Jazz hit home runs, guess what? We still win. Okay? Just an idea, and I want your feedback, so let me know. If you're down in the comments, you may as well comment because it does give you an entry into our $100 giveaway every 25 signups using code GMGO, all caps, on Novig. Not only do you get a 50% deposit match up to $25, it will enter you into a drawing to win $100. Now, I will tell you, also, if you've signed up and you don't mind commenting down below that you've signed up, let me know, because I got my report and the marketing guy did say it takes a little bit, but it said only have 1 redemption. I'm like, no. Like, I have at least 5 comments saying they signed up. There's more than 1. So I'm hoping it just takes a few days for it to kind of cycle through. But right now we're at 1 officially. I don't think that's accurate, but I just will let you know that I'll update you guys each day, but we're a far ways away from 100, and I think we're actually closer than that, so we'll see. Okay, here's the slate. Like I said, it's small, but it's very optimistic, and that's a problem, because that means I have picks. I have a lot of picks. As you can see, there's really only 1 game that is negative in terms of the home run outlook, but the conditions aren't bad. It's still warm, and it's an early game. So let's get into it. We'll start with the game in Colorado. Britton Doyle, $6.25, I think is a crazy price. Ryan McMahon, Hunter Goodman, and Michael Toglia. I learned yesterday, a loyal listener said the G is silent. It's Toglia. So Michael Toglia. I'm learning how to pronounce these names. We're getting better, and I love it. For Atlanta, all I'm doing is Austin Riley. I actually put this price on Novig this morning, $420. It's already been matched. His best line elsewhere was plus 400. I said, I don't really like him at 400. I'll take 420 though. I put him at 420. It's already been matched. So that is a cool thing about Novig. I know I'm shilling it a little bit, but if you like a player and you don't like the price available, throw up your own price. And maybe somebody wants the other side. So Austin Riley, 420 has been matched. We are good to go on that price. For Cincinnati, this game is looking to be the most optimistic. Cincinnati's finally back home at Great American, where we know home runs can leave the park. Nick Martinez is pitching. He is not good for Cincinnati, we hope. But for Cincinnati, I'm going with Ellie De La Cruz, Jake Fraley, Gavin Lux, and Spencer Steer. All of those prices are very good. I like the conditions. So let's ride there. Wilson Contreras for St. Louis, Brendan Donovan are the only 2 plays I like for the Cardinals. Baltimore, I said, guys, I told you, I like Baltimore tonight. I don't like Will Warren, who is pitching for the New York Yankees. I think Baltimore not only has guys who can hit home runs, their prices are crazy. So I have 5 picks. Is that too many? I don't know. I have 8 total picks in this game. I have 8 total picks. Is that sustainable? I'm not sure, but my gut is saying it's probably not. I'm probably looking at this with hindsight bias. That, the time that we hit 3 from Washington, I'm like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Have we done it since? No. So, this is where I need to probably say, okay, I like all 8 of these guys. Maybe we pick 2 per team. And if I really like Baltimore as much as it looks like I do, maybe I take their team total home runs over. And we kind of diversify our portfolio a little bit. It's just an idea. Comment. Let me know if that's a good idea in your guys' estimation. Cedric Mullins, 850. Gunnar Henderson, 625. Adley Rutschman, 800. Ryan O'Hearn, 11-1. And Jackson Holiday, 13-1 are all of my plays for Baltimore. Here's the problem. I liked more. I liked a couple other guys. So we'll talk about that in a second. For New York, Jazz, Chisholm at 7-1 is nuts. It's flat out nuts. That's why he's green. Ben Rice, 575 on Camby. I'd take him all the way down to 500, to be completely honest. I know a lot of you don't have Camby. I know they limit fast, so I realize that that's maybe a little bit sketchy, but I was able to get down 0.1 units. Austin Wells at 650. Washington and the New York Mets. Washington, what a comeback yesterday. If you watched the baseball game, I believe they were down 7-0, and they came back in the ninth and won the game. So maybe they come into this game with a little more confidence. It is looking negative, quote unquote, but again, I think there are opportunities here. Jesse Winker for the Mets, Garcia, Lowe, Wood, and Bell for the Nationals. One of them hits a home run, we're profiting. And that's how I'm going to rest my head. Cleveland is my most optimistic game. Bailey Ober is pitching for the Twins, and he is a meatball masher. He is a meatball tosser. He is a long ball giver upper. He is vulnerable. And so we're going to target some Cleveland guys. And it's not a surprise. Steven Kwan, Jose Ramirez, Kyle Manzardo, and Carlos Santana are all plays. Now, some of these numbers are a little low. Manzardo hits one and that's it. We lose. So, this is where, again, I'm kind of toying with some of these ideas. For Minnesota, Edouard Julien is a full-on chase. I like the conditions against, who's pitching tonight? It's not is it Gavin Williams again? I'm going to check. I'm actually going to check this time because I know last time I didn't say the right name and I regret it. That's on tomorrow. Gavin Williams. I was on it. Look at that. I didn't even need to check. Gavin Williams is pitching. He is also not great. So this is, again, where I looked and I said, both of these pitchers are subpar. Both of the lineups have major chances to put up some runs. And the total was at 7.5 on ESPN. I put a unit on that number. So that's where my home run analysis led me to a play that I think has value. Over 7.5 in this game. So that's where it may be worth it to say, look, we're going to go with Jose Ramirez and Steven Kwan. We're going to go with Edouard Julien and Carlos Correa. We're going to pick 4 guys from this game that I think can go home run, but we're also going to play the over. And if we lose 0.4 units betting home runs and we put a unit on the over and the over hits, we're profiting on the game because we're in 1.4 units and we made 1.9 units if we get it at minus 110. So maybe that's a smarter thing to do. Maybe that's a better avenue to take. And we can still call it the home run dinger digest. Let me know in the comments if you like that idea. But I don't know. I don't want to say I think I like that idea, but I think I like that idea. Moving on to this game in Texas. Globe Life Field has been kind of back and forth with home runs. It's real tricky. And the Texas bats were juiced to crazy numbers. JP Sears is pitching for Oakland. Horrible. Hard hit ball, capital of the world. He's not good, but the prices on these Texas Rangers were abysmal. Like 300s for all of them. Like 6 out of the 9 starters were sub 400 to hit a home run. So maybe we look at a Rangers team total home runs. More on that in a second. Shea Langoliers at 420 I think is great, and Urias has really been hot lately, 7-1. Houston, and who are they playing today? Who are they playing? Detroit. Good pitching today. So I'm only going with Jeremy Pena, and I'm going with nothing else. I may live to regret this. Again, this is another game where I think there's some potential. And I fear that maybe we get 5 or 6 home runs in this game, and I'm like, right? But I can't think like that. It's not a heart thing, it's a head thing. Jack Flaherty's on the mound. I'm only going with Pena. I think he's a good pitcher. Blanco's on the mound, I believe. Ronald Blanco. And I think he's been dealing this week, or this year. So I'm staying away from Detroit bats. Kerry Carpenter I looked at, but his price was too low. And then finally the game in LA. Miami and the Dodgers. Look at this. Again, I think the Dodgers could destroy Eduardo Cabrera, who is pitching for Miami. Absolutely mash him. Is there value in the money line at minus 300? I didn't think so. Is there value in the team total at 5.5? Not sure. I would like to see their team total home runs. Anyway, for Miami, against Dustin May, Matt Mervis, and Eric Wagaman. Again, I think the matchup is poor. I think Dustin May is good, but the prices are very good for a park that's very home run friendly, 750 and 900. And then for LA, Tommy Edman 9-1, Conforto 7-1, Freeman 6-1, Will Smith 7-1, Andy Pages, been hot, 7-1. Of course, I like Mookie Betts. Of course, I like Hernandez. Of course, I like Ohtani. Of course, I like everybody in the lineup. Everybody looks good against Cabrera. Everybody models well against Cabrera. But how many can I pick before we start to tip the scales in the negative favor? That's the mission. That's what we're going after. Our round robin today: Jose Ramirez, Jazz Chisholm, Wilson Contreras, Shea Langoliers, and Tommy Edman. You got some safe plays in here, quote unquote. Some low odds. Ramirez, Contreras, and Langoliers, all in the 400s. Not something I typically do. So if we do hit, our payout will be less than what it has been. But today we could have all five. Let's hit all five. Let's hit all five today. Let's get back in the positive. Why not? Why is today not our day? So here's the problem. I like the Rangers team home runs if it's over 1.5. I like the Dodgers team home runs if it's over 1.5. I like the Orioles team home runs if it's over 1.5. And I like the Guardians team home run if it's over 1.5. The problem is there are no lineups outlet yet, so there's no lines up yet. So, this is where I'm going to have to personally monitor it and personally put out on Twitter if it is a play. If do I come in here and write a comment? Maybe, if that would be helpful. Do I start a freaking Discord so that you guys can join and I can update you guys and we can have a little community? Maybe. Guys, I don't, the world is our oyster. But by golly, it's time to start shucking. I might need to start shucking the oyster. So any ideas you guys have, because ultimately I want to make this something that is conducive to you, positive to you, helpful to you. So if it was totally up to me, I think there might be some value in per game limits, 4 per game, possibly. Mixing in some team home runs on games where I normally would pick 6 to 8 batters and say, look, instead of just loading up the Baltimore Orioles today, let's just take their team total home runs over. I don't need to pick which are going to go home run. And if we get 4 and I would have profited more, fine. But at least we win our bets, okay? And then maybe a few extra plays a day to supplement some of these home runs. We're down 8 units. It's not pretty. It's actually horrific. But we keep going. And that's all thanks to you guys. So let me know, please, in the comments where your head's at. What do you think? And let's turn it around today. I love you, and we'll see you tomorrow.